working for you. CBS 6 News at 11 starts now.
I'm not asking questions. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, there's a dead young black male here that was shot excessively, unnecessarily, because someone had anger control issues.
Outrage in the fan, a neighborhood demanding answers from investigators moments after the first deadly officer-involved shooting in Richmond in 5 years. Hello,
Good, they should have shot their ass.
We're learning more about the man that police say was shot and killed after he shot a police officer. We have complete coverage for you tonight. Our Chelsea Rarick is live in Richmond with more from that very emotional scene with family members.
But we begin with our John Burkett, who tells us how this all unfolded and spoke to a witness who says he was actually caught in the crossfire. John.
Rob, Luis Ambry says he is one lucky guy after he witnessed the officer being shot and the suspect being shot to death. Ambry says he was taking tools back to his truck. He was renovating a house in the Fan District. He says he wasn't prepared for the gunfire, the amount of gunfire that would erupt this afternoon as officers ordered the man to stop.
A gun bagged up as evidence. The shell casing evidence markers are in the double digits. Bullet holes in the siding of a nearby home. A body bag wheeled away from a back alley near Roland and Carey Streets. It's where police say a chaotic clash between two Richmond police officers and an armed suspect ends shortly after it began Wednesday afternoon.
They start shooting each other. They start shooting back and forth.
Luis Ambries unexpectedly had a close-up view, ducking to avoid being hit.
12, 15 feet away, not too far.
Ambries says after the officer was hit, he believes his partner returned fire, hitting the suspect.
The suspect, you said, continued firing after he'd been shot?
Yes.
Both officers made their way back to the suspect, a man family and friends identify as Keyshawn Hargrove, and tried helping him.
They tried to give a CPR.
To the suspect?
Yeah, to help.
Police sources telling CBS 6 that Hargrove was a person of interest in a violent crime that happened in this area in recent weeks. Friends also tell us, and sources confirm, he was just released from prison in late April for a violent crime.
That assignment was for a man with a gun.
Police raced to the scene after hearing man down. One officer responding to the call flips his car on Lombardy Street. He's expected to be okay.
We continue to support our police officers. This is the second officer that we've had to be shot in the line of duty in the last several months.
On a corner in the Fan, some look on in disbelief. Crime tape right outside their front door. And a whole lot of confusion in what they say until recently has been a pretty quiet neighborhood.
Yeah, it was a little scary.
Richmond police, Candace and Rob, confirmed that both police officers involved in this afternoon's shooting are on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of this investigation. Now, police sources telling me that around 10:15 tonight, that officer who was shot in the arm was released from VCU Medical Center. The officer, however, that was involved in that crash going to the shooting scene is still being treated here at VCU. Working for you in downtown Richmond, John Burkett, CBS 6 News.
All right, John, continuing our complete coverage. We want to send it out now to our Chelsea Rarick.
Chelsea found a neighborhood that's upset and demanding answers after this shooting. And Chelsea, tell us, what are people saying out there?
Well, police are still on scene here in the area of where that shooting happened hours ago. Now, earlier tonight, the police chief was here talking to friends and family, explaining to them that this is still in the very early stages of the investigation.
We want a full investigation.
Emotions run high Wednesday night as friends and family members of a man shot and killed by a Richmond police officer Wednesday confront Police Chief Alfred Durham.
Bottom line, at the end of the day, is we have a dead child here. I'm not asking questions. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, there's a dead young black male here that was shot excessively, unnecessarily.
The outcry comes after police were called to the 2100 block of Carey Street for a man with a gun. Two officers got there and say the suspect began to run and gunfire was exchanged. One of the officers was shot in the arm. The suspect was pronounced dead on the scene.
We're going to get answers, and we're going to get the correct answers.
Friends of the family tell CBS 6 this woman is the mother of the man who died. She spoke with police and even tried calming the crowd down.
Out of due respect of the family, please.
The chief says he understands that some will be upset as a life was lost.
So we have to let them do their job. We have to do our job.
Still, others who live in the area and heard the gunshots say They don't tolerate any kind of violence in their neighborhood.
It's definitely alarming and scary.
Welcome to the block, white girl.
And unfortunate. So hopefully something is done about it.
Yeah.
Now, CBS 6 did stop by the home of the suspect. However, family members did not want to talk on camera. The chief also says the investigation will eventually go to the Commonwealth's attorney, will able to determine if the shooting was justified. Working for you in the city of Richmond tonight, I'm Chelsea Merrick for CBS 6 News.
Thank you, Chelsea. That area in the Lower Fan, the Randolph neighborhood, has been in the news for generations. Mark Holmberg says there was a heroin war there in the 70s, and there was a long list of victims after that. The violence in the 80s and the 90s led the city to build the police 3rd Precinct headquarters 2 blocks away down Meadow Street. But neighbors in the so-called Strip still complained about drug buyers flooding the area twice every day like the tide. Heroin in the morning, cocaine at night. Mark Holmberg asked Police Chief Alfred Durham about the corner's history of violence and drug dealing this afternoon.
Chief, that corner is well known for being a heroin purchasing spot. Is this anything to do with that?
Mr. Mayor just gave me a history lesson on that corner, so that's something we're going to have to look at. And I understand it's just a couple of blocks from the police station, the precinct.
That's why the precinct is there?
Yes, sir. So we're definitely going to look into that, no doubt about that.
Some of your
and Mark says the drug situation eased a decade ago when the Better Housing Coalition transformed that stretch of Carey Street with new working-class housing, and the Richmond police chief at the time, Rodney Monroe, stepped up policing. He says the area has largely been free of bad news until today.
So again, a recap, a Richmond police officer shot this afternoon on West Carey at Meadow Street during a foot pursuit. Another officer returned fire, hitting and killing the suspect, who family members have identified as Keyshawn Hargrove. The officer was hit in the arm and taken to VCU Medical Center. Both officers have been placed on administrative leave. And we will continue to follow this story as it develops. Look for updates tomorrow morning on CBS 6 this morning.
Well, this is something like out of your nightmare. A man walking down the sidewalk in Richmond falls right through a grate. It happened near 1st and Marshall Streets. Rescue crews and a witness tell CBS 6 the access hatch failed. The victim was able to get out of the sewer with a ladder, and he is expected to be okay. A witness we spoke to says the man who fell literally was there 1 second and just disappeared the next.
I'm looking at him going down in the hole. So I ran over and I'm like, yo, you okay? He's like, yo. And so I called the police and the ambulance.
Good job.
And working for you, CBS 6 News asked firefighters, whose job is it to inspect these grates? We were told it's the building owner's responsibility, but nearby businesses tell us they haven't seen anyone in that building for some time. We've also reached out to the city to find out what's next.
Firefighters in Chesterfield trying to figure out how this house caught fire this afternoon. It happened in the 13,000 block of River Mist Road in Midlothian. We're told 4 people live in the home, and 2 teens were actually inside when they heard the smoke alarms go off. They were able to get out safely. Crews say finding a cause could be difficult.
When our crews arrived on scene, there was heavy fire from the rear of the house, so our fire marshals are going to be looking at that area first. But there is a significant amount of damage to the home, so it's going to be a difficult job that they're going to have to try to determine exactly what caused the fire.
Again, no one was injured, and we will continue to follow this story as well.
If you want his children, he will provide.
Hey, good evening. Things are kind of quiet right now, but it continues to be pretty warm and muggy. We saw high temperatures today in most areas breaking 90 degrees. It was 95 in Richmond today, 97 in Williamsburg. And as of the 11 o'clock hour, it's still pretty warm. We have some areas that have dropped down in the upper 60s and low 70s north and west, but most other areas at least in the mid 70s, and still 81 right now in Richmond and also in Williamsburg, and it feels even warmer.
Told them about.
Just to sit and watch all the babies walking around in tears, there's nothing you can do for them.
Despite being kicked off the court, the Charlottesville Cavaliers still showed up to the game on Sunday dressed in full uniform, cheering on the other divisions from their hometown.
You know, they didn't run around with having a tantrum. They didn't do, they took it a little better than the adults did.
But the young Cavs say that's something they learned from each other.
If I'm playing a game against my friends, say I win, I give them, say they did good.
With a stellar season and its bitter end now behind them, they're already talking about a victory at next year's tournament.
We're going to go even harder than we did this year. We're going to make sure we win this one.
That's right, young brother.
Now, in a statement, the National Travel Basketball Association says players must play with their gender and that sanctioning bodies must clearly communicate those rules to participating teams. Now, to keep this from happening in the future, the NTBA says it is looking over its policies and tournament intake procedures. In the newsroom, Matthew McClellan, 8 News.
Up next, I'm not marrying you unless I can swim to the wedding.
It really happened. Find out how far that guy had to go coming up tonight. And check your fridge as well. A popular alcoholic beverage is being pulled from store shelves this evening. We'll have everything you need to know about the recall up next. More news where you live after a quick break.
Juan, John, and I have much more when we come back.
Across the country, it's America's favorite jackpot game. Get ready, everybody. This is Powerball. Good evening, America. I'm Sam Arlen. Tonight, we've got a guaranteed jackpot worth $40 million. Get those Powerball tickets out. Good luck to you. It's time to see how you did. First number down tonight is 42. And right after that, America, we have the number 14. Tonight, we're heading to Rapid City, South Dakota to meet Mary Watson. Mary won $30,000 using Power Play. Next number down is 9. And right after that, we've got 16. And we're going to wrap it up tonight with the number 11. All right, now for your winning Powerball number, good luck to you. It is 19 tonight, and your winning Power Play multiplier is 2. Take one more close look at tonight's winning numbers from all of us here at the Florida Powerball Studios. Have a great night. We'll see you back here this Saturday night. Bye, everybody.
Tomorrow, back to school already? Okay, deep breaths. Don't worry, because GMA is here to help you save big with amazing deals and steals on the essential college dorm gear. Plus, how can YouTube make you a super shopper? Secrets revealed tomorrow on ABC's Good Morning America.
Closing out. Over 80% off. The biggest selection of luxury mattresses in Virginia. Closing out the $11,000 handmade heirloom of Beverly Hills for under $2,000. Closing out $1,700 wool and pure silk. $388. Tempur-Pedic and Eye Comfort. 5 years, no interest, and free delivery. High-end memory foam. $188. The only day you get over 80% off is the day we close out Virginia's biggest mattress store. Saturday at Haynes.
You want the latest trend, but care how much you spend. It will be your loss if you don't go to Ross. You'll find so much in store, and you are sure to score. Gotta go, yeah, gotta go to Ross. You want the latest style, then this should make you smile. At Ross, you'll make a haul, just forget them all. There's just one place to go for all those in the know. Gotta go, yeah, gotta go to Ross. Gotta go to Ross, gotta go to Ross, yeah, gotta go to Ross.
Henry posted, new apartment comes with the garage. It's time for a big boy car. Congrats, Henry. Hurry into the Honda Summer Clearance event, and you can get a great deal on the Honda Accord from KBB.com's best overall brand. With a rear view camera and text message reader standard, it's the perfect big boy car. Awesome. I'll be right over. We're open late.
Hurry in to the Honda Summer Clearance event for a great deal on your new Honda.
Call Marks and Harrison right now at 1-800-WIN-WIN-1. Are you the biggest Skins fan? Prove it. Enter your fan photos at WRIC.com. Click rewards for your chance to win $100 Hardee's food and bragging rights.
Stay healthy. Watch the Dr. Oz show weekdays at 3 on TV8.
The new 8 News Storm Tracker weather app. Download it for free today.
Welcome back. New developments surrounding the Minnesota dentist who killed a popular lion in Africa. Dr. Walter Palmer's Florida vacation home has been vandalized. When no one was keeping watch over the Marco Island home, someone threw pig's feet and animal crackers in the driveway, then spray painted the words "Lion Killer" across the garage door.
Anyone that's left posters or, you know, something on the floor, teddy bears, things like that, that's one thing. But spray painting and graffiti is below the belt.
Palmer's killing of Cecil has sparked international outrage. Zimbabwe is calling on the U.S. to extradite Palmer, who is still in hiding.
Tonight in Florida, police claim witchcraft was involved in a triple homicide in Pensacola. Sheriff David Morgan says a person of interest in the case is a self-described Wiccan. He says there were no signs of forced entry. The victims died from blunt force trauma. They had their throats slit, and their bodies were arranged in a ritualistic manner.
It's witchcraft. I'll say that right now. You know, there are different factions of that. While it doesn't bother me, to release a particular thing, we most assuredly, do not want to defame or demean any particular, practice, if you will.
Morgan believes those murders took place last Tuesday during the most recent blue moon. Today, Angry Orchard Cider Company announced a voluntary recall of select 12-packs and 6-packs of their crisp apple hard cider. The company received reports that bottles were broken or overflowed when opened. Angry Orchard says those problems are limited to batches produced on June 15th and June 29th. You can see the full recall information at WRIC.com. The world's biggest breakfast cereal maker says it'll drop artificial colors and flavors from many of its products. Kellogg's says the goal is to change cereals and snack bars by the end of 2018. According to Reuters, 75% of cereals in North America don't use artificial colors, and more than 55% don't contain artificial flavors.
Boston's mayor wants chewing tobacco out of Beantown ballparks. His new proposal would cover professional, collegiate, and high school sporting events. San Francisco outlawed chewing tobacco from its fields back in May, the first U.S. city to do so. The American Cancer Society is looking for volunteer drivers for its Road to Recovery program, which shuttles cancer patients to appointments. Volunteers must be 18 to 85 years old with a good driving record, insurance, and a vehicle in good working condition. Training is provided. If you'd like to help, we have posted details on our website. Just go to WRIC.com. Now let's go back to John.
Well, time to talk about some wet weather headed up for us over the next day or so here in central Virginia. It's a storm system that's out here in the nation's midsection. Remember, we had the front come through yesterday. It dried the humidity down just a little bit for us. Still made it to the middle 90s today. That's exiting to the east, and here comes moisture sliding along this stalled out front. There's going to be a little storm system that will kind of make this front waver back and forth over us, and one of those kinks comes through here. That may happen on Friday, and that could set us up for some strong storms in a few isolated spots, tapping into the mighty muggy air down to the south. So there have been some showers coming across Tennessee tonight. The ones that went through eastern Tennessee this evening, around Bristol and towards Johnson City, took out some power. Still a pretty good chunk of people out there without the lights at this hour of the night. Meanwhile, back down to the west, this little cluster of showers trying to work its way across the southern part of the state. I think most of that's going to fade out in the next few hours, but down towards the South Hill, Lunenburg, and maybe into Brunswick County, possibly Charlotte County, you could see a brief shower or two. We're 81 degrees outside right now, mid-70s bracketing us on either side. I think we're going to drop down close to the 70-degree mark tonight here across the area. It's still 81 also over in Williamsburg. Now, tomorrow we get set up for cloudy skies. Rain likely by late in the afternoon. We'll throw some thunderstorms in there. Temperature around 86 degrees. Only in the mid-80s, not the mid-90s for us across the region. 81 degrees from Kilmarnock to 87. And the south side, we'll see temperatures in the low to mid-80s down the south of us. Computer models starting to kick up a good bunch of rain in the southern part of the state, and I actually think this heavier band of rain is going to come to the north of us from some of the latest information I'm seeing, because it's usually underdone on the northern side of this. We'll get the day going tomorrow in pretty good shape, but here we go into the afternoon. Isolated showers tomorrow afternoon, then here comes the wall of water for tomorrow evening. That's going to continue tomorrow night with maybe a little break early Friday morning, and then another round of showers Friday